So, I do kind of want to tell my story a little bit. I'm building this YouTube channel. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I need some extra scratch. I live in a tiny apartment. I'm 42 years old, have a young kid. He's almost 3. And I didn't care about the tiny apartment or anything before he was born. Um, I had a really bad childhood. I haven't spoken to my mother in decades. Um, she should go to prison. I I would love to see some repercussions for the stuff that she did. But then I first got locked up when I was 15. I was in San Diego. I did juvie time. That was probably the worst place I've ever done time. You definitely had some weirdo perverts like working. We didn't call the COCOs. They were called coaches. They'd wear green polo shirts and like khakis. When we do our daily shower, like it was stalls, but they only came up to about your waist, and the drain was always clogged. So it was everybody was going through like a foot of water in the showers. Like, I didn't know much about hygiene or athlete's foot or anything. Before I got locked up, I was super abused, but I was also in like gifted and talented. I had a very stressful home life, so it was always very hard for me to concentrate, but I was deemed fairly intelligent. I went into the gifted and talented classes in like middle school, and those kids were a lot smarter than me, but had, they were also more calm than me. I don't know if I was just a hyper kid or what. I know my mother, she admitted to me she was doing a lot of cocaine when she's pregnant with me and my next youngest brother. So when my parents got divorced, I went back and forth a lot between, sorry for all the ums, and as soon as I can edit videos, I'll edit videos better. Went back and forth. I ended up living with my grandparents from the age I was 5 till I was 8. And I had problems because I'd been severely abused before that. I've had to be taken to the hospital. One of my earliest memories is getting beaten by my mother and then her crying and telling me how sorry she is. And this happened more than once. I confronted her because I ended up moving back when I was 8. And I was like, why did you do that? She lied to me. She said, because I felt so bad. I feel like she was scared of getting caught. I lived there for the next 7 years. This was the worst time of my life. When I was in prison, I would have dreams that I paroled to her house. They would be nightmares. I'd be trying to leave. Whew. Another reason that I'm talking about this is because I see other people on this platform doing it, and it seems like it does them good. It seems like it does them really good. And until I had my son, I didn't really care. Everything was cool. I could live in a tiny apartment. And so I went to juvie when I was 15 because I finally hit my mother back. We'd been going through this thing in California. In the 90s, as a juvenile, you had a curfew. You could be out from 6 at night till 10 in the morning. So what I was doing, because I'd been grounded for the past 5 years, I literally lived like Dobby in this house. I was responsible for doing all the cleaning, all the cooking for my siblings, and I had a TV and a Nintendo in my room that I wasn't allowed to use. I was only allowed to read, clean, do homework, and I could listen to music. And I just got sick of it. I started realizing I was bigger than my mom. And so I would leave at 6 in the morning, go hang out, friends, stuff like that. I'd never even smoked weed before or anything. No intention of that. I was playing magic cards with my friend. The summer before that, Actually, the summer this started, I went to summer school to get away from my mother. And I told her it was 2 hours longer than it actually was so I could hang out with my friend. And we'd play magic cards and get uh, tacos at Jack in the Box, two for $1. We'd each get a taco. That was balling right there. And so I hit her back. I end up in juvie, and my first week in juvie, they put me in unit 1100. If you know anything about San Diego juvie, if anybody's watching this and they were there in the 90s, 2801 Meadowlark Drive, they put me in 1100, which is a high security lockdown. Because what happened was, one of those nights at 10 o'clock, we got in this argument in the front yard. And the past 3 days, what was happening is the police were escorting me into my room. Like, I wouldn't come in. I'd just sit outside. Like, I'm not going in there. And I'm not going to be out and about getting in trouble. So she'd call the cops. They'd escort me into my room 3 days in a row. And now in hindsight, I think that might be part of what happened to make it explains some other events, because my stepdad was a felon and they had a gun and he straight up had access to it. It's probably my mom's name, but he had a gun. And so one time we're out there arguing. It's before 10. The cops haven't shown up yet. Like, I think it was 8 or 9 o'clock, and I'm standing outside. I'm like, no, I ain't going in. I'll sleep out in the front yard. I don't care. And she ends up coming out, and she's like attacking me. And next to our house on the top of the driveway, there were these two snow skis, which was weird because we lived in Escondido, California. There's no snow. Never used them, but I grabbed one because I was scared. Because she's probably like 5'6", 5'7". At the time, I'm 5'2", 120. She's probably 5'5". She's probably 5'5" to 5'6". I haven't seen her in 20 years. Probably weighs $130 or something. And I'm scared. And so I kept telling her, like, back up or I'm going to hit you. Back up or I'm going to hit you. Back up or I'm going to hit you. And finally, like, we made it. I walked from the top of the driveway all the way out into the middle of the street, and all the neighbors knew all this. We'll get to that in a minute, I think. But so I hit her, and I hit her in the thigh, like, not hard, not full force, but in my mind, what I was thinking was, I told her to leave me alone, or I'm gonna hit her, and like, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna keep running. Like, I said I'm gonna do it. Here you go. Just before that, the abuse had gotten bad because I was starting to stick up for myself. One time I came home, I don't know what I did. I used to have really long hair. She made me grow it. I always hated it. I got bullied in school for it, but she would make me grow it. And I come home and she like took a boot. I was probably like 13. She took a boot and started beating me with it. Well, first she punched me, and then she's throwing shoes at me, and I'm trying to duck, and my nose started bleeding. Well, we rented houses. This is a rental house, and it was all white carpet, and they bought those runners, with spikes on the bottom, so it wouldn't mess up the carpet because they got to get their deposit back. And with my nose bleeding, I just went and stood over the carpet. Plop, 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 and just gushing blood. It's really easy to make my nose bleed. And so, yeah, things had already been getting crazy. So I hit her back. I end up in juvie. Never been to juvie before. Never even been in trouble before. Like, dude, I wasn't that kid. Like, I used to get in a little trouble in elementary school because I had anger issues because of how I grew up. But so that was the first time I went to juvie. I was there for a week. And then I was there for a week, and then they brought me back. Or, well, they sent me back. Like, Hastings, come out. Damn, I just realized I said my last name. Whatever, I don't care. And so I was amazed. Like, I didn't want to go. I was locked in a cell all day. Didn't have anything. Didn't even have a book. But at least I felt safe. I felt safe. They're bringing, like, I'm eating better. Like, I wasn't allowed to eat at home growing up. You could have 2 bowls of cereal in the morning at the most. For school days, like, you can take a lunch. No, you can't. No, you can't. Because if anything comes up missing, like, you're going to get beat. Like, in the summertime, I'd be starving. So I'd grab a thing of cookies and I'd pull it out and I'd pull cookies from the back. Because, like, I know I'm going to get in trouble either way. So at least that would prolong it. So, like, I'll get beat for like 4 days of cookies instead of 1. You know, that type of stuff. All right, well, this was a lot harder than I thought it was. Shout out to dudes like Jay Williams and other people who've come on here and shared their stories. So then I went from juvenile hall to the mental hospital. And that would be a whole nother story. I'll upload it. I'll tell it. I'll keep it going. Let me know if y'all are interested.